put out as a tribute to the work that she did to get us to this place, to right now history's being made. And it also responds to the president's 2025 in the whole education arena. And it takes into account other things. So one of the things that I did do is just for general guidance. Can everyone see this slide?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is a tribute to Dr. Adora Obi Nweze by the Best Academic Practice Models team. And this kind of walks through the fact that one of the things that she's focused on constantly is education. This started in 2015 in Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce with the National NAACP president on the path forward. This path forward has been going on since that date. We've been working on that. And I think the two things that you see here in the first top, this is the Washington, D.C. scene where the NAACP, United States Chamber of Commerce, and their foundation met with people from all over. There is a 3-hour coverage of this. And if you'd like to see it as background from where all this started, I can resend it. I know some of you may have it. And so we've gone from 2015 to here. The pathway forward, as you can see, the Chamber's logo and the NAA's logo. And the bottom line is she has now gotten us to this place. National has bought into it, and it is going to be a part of the big picture. So it's taken a while, but, and she's still on it, as I said, as of this moment. So we will see what happens. But I wanted everyone to kind of have an idea of what this was all about and as we move forward. So, Mrs. Moore, I'm going to turn things over to you.
Good evening, everyone. And I am certainly extremely proud and appreciative that you are on this call tonight, because I know that Dr. Neweze has been our guiding star. And this all started in Chicago in 2015. We were at the Path Forward conference, which was being co-hosted by the NAACP and the Better Business Bureau. This was a labor of love for us. And when I say for us, for those that heard her clarion call, when she asked, we were at dinner at her expense. She took all of the education chairs, the state education chairs, to dinner. And she just sort of looked troubled. She said, our children are getting lost in the shuffle. And you see from the information that was provided by the president of the chamber that they were not going to have viable work pools because they had jobs, but they said they weren't going to be able to fill them because of the low scores of African American students. That really, really troubled her. And she didn't say very much, but then she looked around, she said, out of all of you education chairs that are here from all of the states that we have paid for you to come, and you have heard what is happening, I don't care who does what is needed to get the job done. She said, but if someone puts the initiative forward, I will work with you. I will do whatever is necessary in order to make it happen. She said, but between all of these educated, she said, educated people that are here, there has to be something that has to be done for our children. I heard that. The next day I met Mr. McWilson. Before the meeting, I told Mr. McWilson, I said, you know what, Mr. McWilson, I said, I'm going to have to rethink my position, but I'm telling you right now, we're going to, you're drafted because we have to do something about what is happening to our children. I said, we sat here, we've talked about it. I said, but you know, Dr. Neweze is on the same page that we're on. She's willing to work with us. He said, well, Mrs. Moore, I said, well, I can't take no for an answer. I wouldn't even let him talk. I said, I can't take no for an answer. I told him I don't care who the messenger is, just so the message has gotten out. So he was yoked into this because he didn't volunteer. I just want you to know that. But when we got back, I told him, I said, Jimma, Youngstown is the poster child for failing African American children. And we're going to have a summit. I said, but our first summit is going to be in Youngstown because that's the poster child. And he sort of looked at me. I said, it has to be in Youngstown. I said, I will come to Youngstown. He said, okay. So we started working on it. We got it all set up. I went to Youngstown, was there for a couple of days because it had to take place. Sybil Edwards McNabb was then state president. And I called President McNabb. I told her, President McNabb, you and Mrs. Ophelia Averett, who also diligently works on education for Ohio, I said, we're going to have a summit and you've got to come to Youngstown. She said, come to Youngstown. I said, yes. So start arranging it now. We gave them plenty of time. We had the first summit in Youngstown, Ohio. That was eye-opening for President McNabb. And I then told her, I know that there can only be one committee chair, but we're going to have to form some other kind of committee because this is not going to work for me. She said, well, what are you saying? I said, well, you need a task force. And I said, if when we have this task force, I said, I need some testosterone. I need a man. I need some help because I was not being listened to. So she agreed to that. We then formed the task force. And from that point on, it was not smooth sailing. It definitely was not smooth sailing because we faced resistance from everywhere and everyone. But we were fortunate enough to work with the president, Dr. Kohler, who was then the president of the Ohio Education Committee. And she saw the need. And she helped us form the task force for African American students. It took us a year for us to get people to even say Black students because no one wanted to say Black students, but we finally got that established. It was put on the state website, which has now been taken down, but we captured it on the Ohio state website. So everything that we've done is in writing, because we know if it is not in writing, it is not so. Then talked to Dr. Neweze. I said, Soror, I call her so rare. So rare, I think we have something. And I think you're going to be pleased. She said, dear, anything you have, if it's going to help Black children, it'll please me, and I will work with you. I will do whatever it is you need. I will move heaven and hell, she said, to make something happen. She has been true to her word. From that day in 2015, when she put out the clarion call, after we called her in 2015 and told her that we were ready to move forward, I would just like to say that we have done something that is historic. And the only obstacles that we're having are from within at this point in time. And I mean from within our organization. We have internal things that we have to get our own house cleaned. When we do that, and we have all of the state conferences and all of the units on the same page, we will have changed the paradigm and the thinking of anyone that says that our children cannot learn, because we know through the empirical data that we have gathered that our children are performing at 50%. And when I say 50%, that's C all the way up through A+. They're performing, and they're doing this on biased standardized tests, because we know that all the tests are biased because we didn't create them. And they're mandated by the state. And there's no state in the United States that I know of that does not have to have testing of students. And we've checked that too. So no one can say that, well, they're not that hard on students in this state. Every state requires testing of its students. I would just like to thank everyone that is on this call, and everyone that we're going to bring to our task force or to this group. I would like to say thank you. And I know that Dr. Neweze is extremely grateful, because she calls us her family. But you know, in any family, we have to have a matriarch. And she is the matriarch of this family. She is a true leader. She is a consummate, outstanding representation of African American history, because she is African American history. I say all that to say she is the one that has led us this far. And as Ms. Sidbury says, we're doing God's work for free. As President Brown says, we're doing the work for free that other people get paid to do. So thank you. Thank you in advance. I would now like for our attorney, and I'm saying our attorney, our task force attorney, Phillis Flowers, to have her say. Attorney Flowers? Are you there? Unmute.
Dr. Neweze, Dr. Neweze, Wednesday night, it's Dr. Neweze first. Mrs. Moore, I think President Maxwell is on from.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, President Maxwell. I'm gonna go to the presidents first because I don't know what else you have to do. So, Attorney Flowers, you just hold off a minute. Hold off a minute. President Maxwell, are you on?
I am on. Just a moment, please.
Okay. President Maxwell is from North Carolina, and she's trying to make sure we can see her lovely face.
I am with family, as you hear. Thank you. I'm just in awe of everything that has been done. I also met a little resistance along the way, and I'm so thankful that Ms. Sidbury, who is the branch education chair for the city I live in, which is called Wilmington, for those of you who all know about 1898. So we come ready to fight for our children or whatever it may be because we have that history from that city that we know nothing happens for us without a struggle. So I'm just in awe of everything that she has done and everyone here that she has shared and I've seen. And I'm just 1000% supportive of whatever you do going forward. And I'm going to yield and stop. And I'm at my child, so that's why my picture's all messed up.
All right. President Harris.
I think he's not on yet. Mrs. Moore.
He hasn't come.
He hasn't checked in yet.
President Roberts. Okay, well, we're gonna keep moving, and we'll just fit in when we get in. All right, Attorney Flowers. Now you can go.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I just want to say a true leader, there are many qualities of a true leader. Some of those qualities include being a good listener, learning how to follow, because in order to lead, you need to know how to follow.
Yes.
And to be trustworthy. So the people you work with trust you and will follow you. Applying some of those qualities to Dr. Adora Nweze, I would say that she is a good listener. When the Ohio Task Force came to her and provided her with the findings of the Ohio Task Force and the data, she heard us. She listened. Not only did she hear us, she got down and investigated and worked with us to make sure that the data says what we said it said. Once she determined that we had found a best practice for academics for Black students, she began to promote it, not only within her state of Florida, but within the nation, the national board, and throughout the nation, and has worked with many different task forces in the country promoting this campaign. I would say that all of those things qualify her as a great leader. And that is why we honor her and thank her tonight for her fearless leadership. Because as Ms. Moore indicated, it's not always the people on the outside that you have to convince, but it's the people on the inside. and she has remained very devoted to this campaign. So we honor her and we thank her.
Thank you so much.
Mrs. Moore, President Harris is on.
Good evening.
President Harris? President Harris?
Yes, ma'am. How are you? Thank you. I'm sorry.
I'm fine. We're going to relent to you because you are a state president, and we called your name, but I just said whenever you come on, we'll recognize you. You're on. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. I am more than ready.
Okay. Is there any way we can see your face?
Isn't it? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, now. All right, now go.
Yes, and just based on what I heard coming in to the call, our fearless chair, Adora Obi Nweze, I can never say this right, so please forgive me. Has I said it last night. She kept us focused on this moment. She did not relent. She kept pushing and pushing when we didn't seem to, at times, not appear to support what she was trying to get us to understand. But we were all listening, and we supported her 100%. And I'm at a point and stage in this campaign where I feel that what we bring to the table at this next meeting is exactly what we need for our children going forward. We come in this place where, in a time when the president of this country is doing everything in his power to destroy meaning African American descendants of slaves in this country, take away whatever dignity and respect we have for ourselves. They're trying to take that away from us. And say that name for me, Chair.
Neweze.
Adora Neweze. She kept pushing us to go forward on this education issue. And now here we find ourselves at a time when it's so needed. And I'm confident we have made a great step in getting a system in place that will educate our children.
Yes.
So thank you for allowing me to go on like this, Chair Neweze, and not put me out of your office committee for mispronouncing your name all these years. And I want to disclose this by thanking my president of the Milwaukee branch, Mr. President Clarence Nicholas, who has taken on the work for the Wisconsin Conference on this initiative. Thank you, President Nicholas, for all your hard work. Well, I love you all.
Thank you. Thank you, President Harris. We are honored to have had you, and each time that you've come on, you have been nothing but cooperative. And President Nicholas is a part of the task force, and he's on almost every night, because when he isn't on, I just give him a lot of problems. But he definitely is a part of this. He definitely has taken this seriously, and we're proud of him also. Right now, we're going to go back to Youngstown, to the beginning of this all, and we will hear from Darla Dunlab. Darla, can you just tell us what your position is with your branch, and just speak from your heart?
Good evening, and love and blessings to Dr. Neweze. I started this journey about 2017, 2018, because I found out that our children could not read. could not read at grade level, could not do math, could not do the simple things. And I remember as a little girl growing up with my grandmother, I'm sorry, you asked me to give my position. Let me start over. My name is Darla Dunlab, and I am the secretary of the Youngstown branch of the NAACP. I am the Education Justice Chair, and I'm also on President Roberts' Ohio Task Force for Best Academic Practice for Black Students. I started this journey, as I said, in 2017 or 18, when I returned home in 2015, and I have always done community service work. I've always been activist with my children in the schools, and started to teach financial literacy and found out that our children could not read, could not write, and met some opposition, was introduced to the NAACP to come and learn, and I'm still learning. I think this is an ongoing process, and I've been so grateful to meet so many wonderful people in this journey. Jimma McWILSON, Dr. Mrs. WilliAnn Moore, our President, State President Tom Roberts. And I can say that when I met Dr. Neweze after so many letdowns of obstacles, because we know it's never going to be easy, I just felt that we had found our leader. We found the person that could help us carry out educating our children, our Black children. So, Dr. Neweze, it's always a pleasure when you're on. It's always a pleasure to know that you consider us family. And I'm going to read a poem, but I don't want you to look at this poem in the sense that it's the ending, it's the beginning. And a lot of you have heard it. And I think that in what I will do once the poem is written, you'll understand that the work that Dr. Neweze does, it's not over with yet, it's to be continued. So
Yes.
the poem is titled The Dash. Between the date when we arrive and the date we go away, there exists a horizontal line that captures every single day. And because these days we're living seem to vanish in a flash, we need to make the most of that special little dash. We are blessed with opportunities as we tread this ground of earth to build a loving legacy for our own dash will be worth. To focus on what matters, not on things we've owned or bought, and smile every chance we get and love with all we've got. For the duties of our daily life, the jobs, the house, the cash, affects the way we get to live our own little dash. So appreciate the here and now as each moment will unfold, because we're never told beforehand how much time our dash will hold. Don't spend time with worries, bitterness, and fear. The future says may be uncertain, but right now, your dash is here. If you need to make some changes, let this be the day you start to make a difference with your life. Show the love that's in your heart. For how you spend this day will someday be defined by everything that is remembered in the dash you leave behind. So when researching and finding more about Dr. Neweze, who I saw elegance, grace, and so much wisdom and knowledge, I'm just going to start by saying one word. And I said I had 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and I won't be able to put all of the things that I've listed in those 2 minutes because I have 5 pages and they're just words. Dr. Adora Obi Nweze.
Darla, we can't hear you.
You're out of your microphone.
Okay. Dr. Adora Obi Nweze.
You still got to move back into your microphone.
My microphone is up.
Okay, we can hear you now. Just don't
You can
move
hear
out
me?
of that position.
Okay. Dr. Adora Obi Nweze, Family Legacy, teacher,
No,
professor,
sit back, Darla.
books, degrees, professor, education, special education, leadership, guidance counselor, Black, college, marriage, Negro, Florida, North Carolina, Washington, D.C. Promotion.
We still can't hear you.
I haven't
The,
moved.
the
Yeah.
only, but yes, you have. When you turn your face away from your camera, we can't hear you.
Hey, let me go to this side then. I'm sorry.
There you are.
Okay,
There
good.
you
Is that
go. We
better?
can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Promotion, Homestead, Florida, Title I, number 2 person, alternative education, teen parent programs, juvenile justice, NAACP 1979, worked 11 years, promoted to Florida State Conference, National Board of Directors, Haitians, working with Haitians dying trying to get to Florida, help in burial deaths, no Haitian blood for transfusion, 1980, McDuffie riots due to law enforcement killing a Black man on a motorcycle. Mandela refused entry to Miami. H.T. Smith, Maryland Holyfield, Black lawyers. Boycott, hurricane destroyed the South, make a difference, reconstruction efforts, children, extra help, raise money, begging, walking, talking to people to fill the list, begging money from all over the country, NAC peers, future, understand environmental justice, underwater. States will be underwater, know it's real, research, isolation, invisible people, non-interaction with people will not give us community, understand self, no survival in isolation, fighter, work together, fight to death, New Harvest Missionary Baptist Church, AKA Sorority Inc., matron of Adora chapter number 99, Order of Eastern Stars. NAACP Diamond Life President of Florida State Conference, NAACP National Board of Directors, Special Contributor Fund, Board of Trustees, National Board of Committee Chair. And it goes on and on and on. But the one thing that I can say that in knowing Dr. Neweze over this last journey of taking our education fight to our national NAACP education chair, as chair, Dr. Nweze has been an inspiration, a role model for future community leaders. She is a challenger, a motivator, an orator, proactively seeks to eradicate voter apathy, misinformation. She addresses education, healthcare, unemployment, criminal justice, juvenile justice, housing, that negatively impacts Black community. Dr. Neweze, she is mother, she is sister, she is
You're moving.
grandmother.
Don't move out of the middle.
She is more than what I can say in just those things that I listed. And I am so appreciative to be able to have known her and to have worked with her. Thank you, Dr. Nweze.
That's a lot between that dash.
A lot between dash.
There's
That
a
is
lot
to be continued.
Thank
Yes, and
you.
it is being continued.
Thank
Now we're going to move this on to our dynamic President James Brown.
Dynamic. Well, thank you, President Emeritus Moore. But it's my honor to give this inspirational quote to Dr. Adora Nweze. My name is James Brown. I am the president of the Youngstown NAACP, Youngstown, Ohio, the epicenter of academic segregation in an integrated school system. Dr. Nweze, as you prepare to present putting our students first to the national board, remember this is more than a proposal. This is a sacred charge. In the spirit of Naacp, the ancient Kemetic principle of truth, balance, justice, righteousness, You stand today as a vessel for divine purpose. Our ancestors understood that education was not just the transfer of information, but the awakening of the soul. And you, Dr. Neweze, are not simply presenting data, you are invoking a vision that honors the divinity in our children. Dr. Asa Hilliard reminded us, I have never encountered any children in any group who are not geniuses. There is no secret to teaching Black children. The real question is, do we have the will?
Yes.
Today, you are the embodiment of that will. You carry a blueprint that dares to center the humanity, the brilliance, and the future of our children, not in theory, but in transformative practice. In Kemet, the word Seba, or Seba, meant both teacher and star. That's not a coincidence. You are a guiding light, not just for the students, but for this organization. You are reminding the board of directors that who you are and what we must become again. As you speak, know that you are not alone. We are with you. The spirit of Hilliard, the spirit of Imhotep, and of countless educators and warriors who came before you are with you also. They whisper to you, awaken the people, restore the light. Awaken the people, restore the light. So speak with boldness, speak with clarity, speak knowing that putting our students first is not an option. It is a return to our cultural imperative. As Dr. Hilliard taught, we must reclaim our culture, our memory, and our responsibility. You are doing all three of these in one moment. Walk into that room knowing that your voice carries the weight of generations and the hope of those yet unborn.
Yes.
Dr. Neweze, remember, you are not asking for permission. You are illuminating a path forward. Ashe, Hotep, and go forth in power.
Wonderful, wonderful, President Brown. As I said, my articulate President James Brown has spoken. And now we will go to Brother Louis Muhammad. We're still in Youngstown, but when Brother Muhammad speaks, everybody listens. Brother Muhammad.
Peace and blessings. My name is Louis Muhammad. I am the first vice president of the NAACP in Youngstown, Ohio, working under the brotherhood with James Brown and Darla and Pam. And I had the pleasure of working with Jimma McWILSON early in the game, as when we was just getting started. We had some players that are no longer on the field present with us, but they have slipped into ancestry. And I just want to take a few moments to say thank you to Sister, Queen, Mother, Dr. Adora Obi Nweze. As I have just met her through the Zoom calls, there's one word that stands out for me. It's the word that is used for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And his son said that my father is authentic. And Minister Farrakhan is a leader. He's my leader. And as I've been on these Zoom calls with this task force, having an opportunity to feel Dr. Adorable, Adora and Nweze, I adore her because she's authentic. It's nothing like being let down by somebody. It's not a good feel. But as I have listened to her on these Wednesday nights, she's down to earth. You know, if you stick a pin in her, she don't got far to fall because she's down here on the earth with us. And as President Roberts says, she's fighting with us for our babies. I like when President Roberts uses that, our babies. So in the Nation of Islam, there's a saying that we say, no nation can rise no higher than its woman. And I am so pleased to have had the opportunity to be on this call with queens like Miss Moore, Darla Dunlab, Miss Salisbury, all of the queens. But we have one queen that's standing in the gap. And I hope that she remembers there's always a Judas present, and that the greatest battle is the battle within self. And there's a word that a great man raised among us. He said that we're suffering from menticide. Some of us got it a little worse than others. And so we all have to get rid of our menticide. And so I hope Dr. Nweze will take these words and ball it up into a flame of fire and go into the fire that Martin Luther King said that he felt he was integrating his people into, and realize that the people that she's going to address and carry this message in this campaign to, they may be suffering from menticide too. But think in her mind, Father, forgive them. Ancestors, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So I thank you, Dr. Adora Obi Nweze, for your dedication, your authenticity, and your spirit to pay the price of redemption to help our babies have a better future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Muhammad. You are just so inspirational, and I love to hear you speak. We will now go to Pamela Brown, who is our Nubian queen. and she's also a parent and an officer for the Youngstown Naacp. But she has put this into practice, best practices, with her son and her granddaughter. So, my queen, you're on.
Thank you, family, and thank you, Mrs. Moore. It is a blessing and an honor to just say a couple of words about Dr. Nweze. As was said, I am the treasurer here at the Youngstown unit of the NAACP. But even more than that, I'm a grandmother and a mother. And being a part of this task force has allowed me to become more educated and empowered and enlightened, just so that I can advocate in whatever capacity in this community, but especially in the lives of my granddaughters, both brilliant girls in the public school system. But through the practices that I've learned here with this task force, I've been able to assist my son in advocating when dealing with the school system and the teachers and all of that kind of thing when issues come up. To be empowered is a great thing. It's a mighty thing. The fact that this task force is comprised of such excellent people, I mean, powerhouse mindsets, meeting more and more people, Miss Sidbury, I mean, just stellar individuals, Mr. McWILSON, President Brown, Sister Dunlab that I've known just about all my life. It is a powerful thing that we do with this task force. And I'm so grateful to just say thank you, Dr. Nweze. Thank you, Dr. Adora. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We feel that love that warrior spirit that you have. There's no words for it. There's no words for it. And I love and appreciate that about you. I'm inspired by your courage and your tenacity. You're a pit bull, mama, and we appreciate and love you so very much. So very much. You know, that pit bull, when the jaw's locked, it ain't no turning loose. And that's what you do. So as you go in to make your presentations and continue to advocate for us, know that you are in our thoughts and our hearts and our prayers always. And we love, 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 and appreciate you. I'm getting to know you a little bit, and I'm looking forward for even greater things to come as we continue this campaign for our children. Ashe, Ankh Ujab Seneb, peace and prosperity to you always.
Thank you, Dow. Now we have another mother, but we have a young lady out of North Carolina by the name of Miss Kemeka Sidbury, who is extremely talented in her own right. She has taken data control to the next power. We know that we are in good hands with this young lady. So Miss Sidbury, we would now like for you to shine your light.
On,
Miss Sidbury,
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. I just want to say, Dr. Nweze, you have done something that no one within the United States has ever done. You have collectively got a group of individuals together across the nation to talk about the best academic practices for Black students through an organization like the NAA, well, like the NAACP. And so you are a Fayetteville Bronco, Fayetteville State University Bronco, and Broncos are unbroken. So wherever you go, nobody can break your spirit or do anything to harm you because you have the spirit of a Fayetteville State University Bronco. When you enter with grace. You illuminate any space that you go in. As we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Malcolm X coming up this week, we have to remember Malcolm X was Malcolm Little. He entered that prison and he was also in prison in his mind. But as he took that dictionary and he wrote and he studied words, he educated himself to become Malcolm X, and then he became a dangerous weapon. Nobody wants to educate us, but you've taken on this mantle and you know that it's going to be some setbacks, but you're still committed to the education of Black children. And so when we come, we're no longer the chickens that everyone wants us to be. We are the eagles and we're going to always soar. But this is under your leadership. No one else can ever lead us like you've done. And so as you continue this fight, just know that we are with you. We are committed to this process. We are committed to students, not only in our local branches, but across this nation. This work continues and we are there with you every step of the way. And I just thank everybody, but I truly, truly, truly want to say I appreciate and I thank you, Dr. Adora Nweze. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear, for your words of encouragement to our leader. And now we're going to go to our adopted member of this task force, who is on almost every night with us. Now I think he gets on because he's afraid not to be on because he doesn't know what he'll miss. But we definitely appreciate his involvement and how he has worked with his state board in order to retrieve information. And he is continually working at all times. And that's President Nicholas. President Nicholas, it's your time to shine.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
and I'm president of the Milwaukee branch NAACP. December 10th, 2015 was the first time I saw and heard Dr. Adora Nweze, and it was at the conference at the National Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C., as I said. And I sincerely admired her commitment, her stick-to-itness to our struggle to help educate our African-American children. It was interesting because 2015, December 10th, was a birthday gift for me, from my wife. She wanted me to attend that national convention, and it was indeed a great birthday gift. But the best education practice models for African-American students headed by Dr. Neweze has made a difference and will make a difference. And I'm more than excited to be a part of what I hope will become a campaign and start May 17, 2025. And I'm waiting for Dr. Neweze to give us these words. It's a go. It's a go.
All right.
And then I want to finish by thanking President Harris for allowing me to be a part of this task force.
Yes.
And I'm extremely pleased with everyone, particularly Jimma McWILSON and his help and guidance, and all of you for being a part of this task force. God bless all of you, and especially Dr. Neweze. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, President Nicholas. And we truly enjoy our adopted member of this of the task force, who rounds us out and have excellent information to bring to us at all times. Now we will go to Mrs. Miller. Are you present?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Mrs. Moore. Good
You're
evening.
on.
Okay, thank you. What a pleasure to hear so many of President Adora's colleagues and task force members adore her with honor and recognition. Tonight, we're not just here talking about history, we're really talking about her story, right? And it's
Yes.
truly my honor to be here this evening and help pay tribute to a woman that I admire so deeply. And I'm talking about the legendary, the incomparable, the unshakable President Adora, Florida's own Iron Wheel champion for Black excellence in education. For decades, she's been the blueprint, the architect, many have said tonight, the loudest voice in the room when it comes to making sure that our kids get what they need, not just to pass, but to thrive. And she didn't wait for permission. She demanded progress. Advocating for culturally competent classrooms before it was a trend, challenging school boards when it was unpopular, and really mentoring the next generation with that real unfiltered truth that we all need. From Tallahassee to DC, from classrooms to boardrooms, President Adora has been a mother to this movement, a warrior in policy, and a lighthouse in stormy seas for thousands of families trying to navigate their way through an education system that just wasn't built for us. And what's wild is she's not done yet. So tonight, we don't just honor her, we honor her legacy, a living legend, a truth teller, strong Black woman who put the weight of our future on her back and carried it like it was really light work. So, and through her tireless dedication since 2015 to best academic practices for Black students, she has built a blueprint for what advocacy in action truly looks like. She understands that education just isn't about curriculum. It's about creating pathways where barriers once stood and making sure that Black students in Florida don't just survive the system, but they rise because of it. And she's reminded us time and time again that we can't afford to be passive when it comes to our young people, that mediocrity has no place where excellence is due, and that when we equip our children with the tools to think critically and dream boldly, we're not only changing their lives, we're changing generations. So President Adora, you've mentored so many of us without even knowing it. You've led with both intellect and intention, and you've given those of us coming behind you a clear reminder that we don't have to wait to be invited to the table. We just pull up a seat. So congratulations on this well-earned recognition. You are more than deserving. You are necessary, and we're all better because of your leadership. Thank you.
Beautiful. Excellent, excellent, Ms. Miller. Do we have Ms. Seagate on?
Ms. C. Wright, I got it wrong, Ms.
C. Wright, I'm sorry. Ms. C. Wright, are you on?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Ms. C. Wright?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Ms. C.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
you got to bring up the rear now.
I'm do my best. It is. I have to say, you all have done a magnificent job honoring the most wonderful Dr. Adora. You know, I'm excited about this recognition. I'm excited about this tribute. You know, often when I'm new to this working with NAACP and new to working with Dr. Adora. So when she was telling me about all these things, and then she talked about the best practices, I never really knew what it was. But then I've spoken with Jimma. I've been on a couple of your calls, and I have to tell you all, everything y'all have said is spot on. She means this. She lives this. She breathes this. We could be talking. My position is the Florida Administrative Assistant, so I assist Dr. Adora with a lot of the operations and different things across the state of Florida. And when I tell you, I don't care what we are speaking or talking about, before the conversation somehow turns to the best practices for Black students. She loves it. And I remember asking her one evening, why don't people, in my opinion, why don't people know about this? I've never heard about this. This is groundbreaking, and this is amazing, and it will change the lives of our children and people. I'm excited about us moving forward with it and getting on the grassroots and getting across the state of Florida and across the nation with this campaign. And she always tells me, Stephanie, it's not a program, it's a campaign. It's not a program. It's a campaign. And she's just amazing. She deserves every ounce of all the accolades and all the great things you all have said about Dr. Adora. I love her. I've only known her intimately for 7 months, you know, but she's my president. She's my friend. She's my sorority sister. She is a mentor, and I'm excited about seeing all of the things she will continue to do as we move forward with this best practices campaign.
Thank you, Soror. I'm so glad that you said that. and I am so glad that you are working with her as her right hand, because I know that if you're her right hand, she does not have to worry about the left hand. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Now I would like to present the hardest working man that I know for best practices for Black students. And that is our task force. I'm going to say our task force leader, because he definitely leads us in all of the technical things that we have to provide. He is a consummate researcher. He is an Afrocologist. He is an historian of American history. And when he says American history, he's talking about Black history, because we are American history. We are the original American history. He can take you from Hemet to Youngstown, Ohio. He can give you timelines and dates. He knows everyone's empirical data, and most of it he doesn't have to look up. But he thinks faster than he can navigate the computer. But he'll tell you, I have 15 things open, so just give me a moment and I will find it. I'm talking about the brilliant, and I'm going to say this again, the brilliant and the always ready to help Mr. Jimma McWILSON. And Jimma, I'm going to let you close, because I think other than me, you speak with Dr. Neweze more than Miss Seawright.
Yes.
So I'm going to let give you the honor of closing, because you're the first thing she hears in the morning and the last thing she hears at night. So I do not want to, I don't want to break the pattern. So you're on, Mr. McWILSON.
Well, my first thing I'd like to say is that, very short, from the time we met, we have been spiritually connected. It's kind of one of those things where you can say, I feel you, and it says it all. I think all of you have said things that I know she needs to hear, because as we discussed last night, we have to be the wing beneath it, the wind beneath her wings as she flies to national to try and get this thing across the goal line. And she's halfway there. I was really pleased, as Mrs. Moore says, we do talk. She was waiting for me to call her this morning, and I was up at 5 this morning and made sure I called her by 6. So it was 9 her time, and she was still waiting for me. I called her one morning and said, you know, I need to get you this quote so that you can have as part of your presentation. She said, well, I was just thinking about calling you because I wanted the quote. So you can imagine there are times when we will talk 10 times a day, and probably sometimes more. But I can tell you, the phrase they used to use about James Brown, the hardest working person in entertainment, well, this is the hardest working person in education, and I can vouch for that. So Dr. Neweze, you know, we've talked back and forth, and she's always saying to me, okay, you're trying to put me up here. So I finally today had an opportunity to get my point across on the numbers. We were told one day by a very esteemed professor that he was operating at 10,000 feet. And I spoke to Dr. Neweze right after. I said, well, Dr. Neweze, we're in good shape because we've been operating at 200,000 feet the whole time. And as of yesterday, she had to leave me to go to 300,000 feet because I'm not on the board of directors. I'm not a member of the education committee, but President Ford and I were assisting her this morning, and President Ford was in the committee meeting. So trying to make sure that we are always that wind beneath her wings to keep her going up as high as she needs to go. So Dr. Neweze, I thank you. We constantly say this. You constantly say we're family. I constantly say you're our leader. You constantly say we do this together. And I think what you heard tonight is they know what I know. You are our leader. We appreciate you. We're thankful for you. We have waited for you. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts. So with that, Dr. Neweze did get on, and she is on now. Dr. Neweze, we're here for you. So if you want to, if you're in a spot where you can unmute, she may not be in a spot. She has lots of meetings. She's leaving early in the morning to travel.
Unmute. Can you hear me now?
We can
Yes,
hear you
Dal.
and we can see you.
Wow, you all have got me flying. I didn't think I knew how to fly, but I do now.
All right.
I do now because we all have wings together. What I love about our family is that we really do know each other much more than we talk about. Because I can feel you and feel the love among us. The work among us is just, there's no bottom to it. Everything is top. Everything is top. And I appreciate the fact that each of us has been open enough to speak truth to each other. And as a result, we have moved into one family. The things that you say apply to you too. The words that you use apply to you too. I said we were family. I know we're family because we are one in our mission.
Yes.
When you find a group like that, it's not a group that you can ever leave because we are one. The mission that we find ourselves on is a rare one. You really don't find that many people interested in children. I wish that number were larger, but it is what it is, and we take it and we move with it. And I'm grateful to each one of you. We are leaders together. We are sisters and brothers together. We are thought professionals together. There is no one above the other. You don't rise like that in a family. When you rise, everybody rises in the family. When you win, everybody wins in the family.
Yes.
When there's a need in the family addresses it. So you are never alone and having to worry about you're by yourself, because you know the family is waiting for you to let it know what the need is. I know exactly who we are. I know that we know each other, and I know that we are constantly on a daily basis. Jimma is exactly right. We try to talk every day, and we do. We don't talk one day, we're going to make up for it the next day. Because we have to keep talking about it. We have to keep planning. We have to keep making sure that we're making the right decisions with and for the family. It's very, very, very critical. I've not had this experience before. My first time. Imagine, who would have ever thought at this age that I would acquire a family that was different. See, family has different meanings. You think about it. You think about family. Everybody doesn't make up the same in the same family. They're different families. They're different ones of us. But the main thing is we are together. We understand our mission. And our mission is a very critical one. Our children are headed down a road that we certainly are not going to talk about tonight, but we are going to have that conversation. Because the road requires us to work together, to do our part, to give it what we have. Black children don't seem to have any support anywhere as a whole, in a whole. You look at us, our children as a whole, they're in trouble. But I'm so proud that my family, which I'm talking about you, my family, with this mission that we have, my family, with this understanding that we have, we're going to help and are helping many children who never knew that they would receive help. So the thanks that I have for each of you, the appreciation that I have for each of you, the love that I have for each of you, I know we're blood. I know exactly who we are. And as each of us studies on our own, hopefully one day, Jimma will pull us together and we will begin to talk about who we really are and what makes us do what we do. Tonight is a very important night in our work. We are going to be going before the board of directors to present our plan. We pray that they will do what is in the best interests of our children. But most of all, we pray that they will understand the importance of this work and free us by voting for it to be continued and expanded. So I'm asking for your special prayers as we move into the next couple of days. One, we will be speaking before a group that is considered to be the advocacy and, more importantly, of our community. We shorten it with that. There's much longer terminology. But this is the last spot, last group you go to before you get to go before the board of directors. And with this particular group, they ask a lot of intricate questions about finances. What is it going to cost? Who's going to pay for it? You know, and all of the integral things that makes programs successful, helps to make programs successful. So we will go before them on Friday. And then on Saturday, the National Board will meet, discuss, and then vote. I wish we were the only ones on the program, but it's going to be a lot. I've heard that so many letters have come in, hundreds of letters have come in, people crying and begging about help with their children for education. So you can expect that as we go through Saturday, that we will be successful. We know that, I feel that, I know that, and we are going to prepare right up until the last moment and then beyond. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for every night. Each one of us understands why we're here, and each one of us understands where we're going as we move together as one. Thank you, family. Thank you. I love you.
President Nicholas? President Nicholas, do you have your hand up?
No, I was waving bye-bye.
This is part one of what I'm hoping will be a two-parter. This one, Dr. Neweze, was for you. As I said to you when you were saying with all that you had to do, you didn't know whether or not you'd have time to get on because you had so many meetings. You have to leave early tomorrow morning. And I said to you, whether you're on or not, you will be the only subject. So you've been the only subject for tonight. And hopefully in part two, next Wednesday, you will be reporting to all of us what took place on Friday and Saturday. So we're going to be waiting not only with bated breath, but as much wind as we can get under your wings and as much force as we can conjure up to remove the barriers of those who are suffering from an acute case of acculturated menticide. And that their God and our God and your God will bless them to see the light and wake up, because we've got 8 million Black children across the country, and there's 7 million of them are in traditional public schools. So it's a big job. But as I said to you, now that you're at the 300,000 feet level, you may be physically up there alone, but we're all there with you. And we just wanted you to know that. And I thought it was very important. The team has talked about this all the time, but I thought maybe one night when you could hear what we say when you're not on. This is our normal conversation. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you for sticking with it since you brought it up in 2015. And thank members of your team who were there then, who are here now, and will be there once this thing is approved. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, her family. This is part one. President Harris, thank you so much. Your voice was important. I thought it was important for she, as a state president, to hear that she has the support of state presidents. President Maxwell was on earlier. But I think it's consistent with what we've talked about. It's just, let's get the job done for our kids. So thank you very much. And what do they always say? Stay tuned for part two.
To be continued.
To be continued. Mrs. Moore, you have the last word.
Continued.
Okay, Mrs. Moore, you can close.
I would just like to say that this has been an honor and a privilege